And let's do what we do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite podcast.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah. Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, 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 yeah,
Riffin
yeah.
with Griffin, baby.
Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. This is try number 2. Audio wasn't working, but it's working now. Testing, yes. Okay, so today's episode, I'm going to discuss the Diddy documentary, but full disclosure, I haven't watched it yet. I want to talk about it first before I'm jaded by watching it, because I have some thoughts. Pluribus on Apple TV. A lot of people are talking about it. It's got a lot of chatter. I want to give you my thoughts. And this show Beastin' Me on Netflix. Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Riffin with Griffin.
All right, yeah. So I had a little sound situation, but we're back. We're back and we're doing it right this time. Make sure you hit the sub button. And then, follow all the lists or whatever, the stuff that you want to see on Riffin with Griffin. Twitch, man. Twitch. And also, hit me up on TikToxic. I've been going on TikToxic a lot, and that's the best name for it. I will no longer be calling it TikTok. It will be called TikToxic for moving forward, because that's what it is. It's toxic. And then my Patreon people, thank you for the support. That little bit helps. So thank you. Keeping us going strong here on Riffin with... Wait, let me move over. Riffin with Griffin. How about no headphones today? So welcome back to the show, man. I appreciate you guys for being here as always. I've been off. I'll tell you why, man. I have just been so busy, man. I've been doing this movie like the last 3 days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I had a 12-hour day. It's 5 a.m. call times, and then you get out at 5, and I'm way over it. It was a 2-hour drive to get home. So I've been like and then you got to learn lines at night when I get home, get up early. I mean, it's just been a long thing, man. So, I got to tell you. So, but everything's good on the home front. Wolf is just growing, man. This kid is growing. His new thing now is Danny Go. It's so frustrating. I mean, I don't know if you guys know what Danny Go is, but he's just this high energy dude that is just, going and going and going. And then so now, but at least like Wolf's doing it. I'm trying to find this new cute video of him that I have. This is my absolute favorite new video of him right now. I don't know where it is. Can I find it? Man, it's like, wow. I don't know how. Here it is right here. This is perfect. Okay, here we go. This is going to be perfect. It's downloading. So, and then happy Thanksgiving. I hope your Thanksgiving was great. Thanksgiving was great on my end. We went to the in-laws' house, and they were great. We had just seeing Rachel's family and like Wolf really getting into it with the family is great. So that's pretty good. And the little guy is just really growing, man. But I want to show you my favorite video of him right now is this one right here. It's a really adorable. My favorite part is like he thinks he killed it. I love that. He was like, I killed it. I killed that, Daddy. I killed that, So it's pretty cool. And now he's like really full on, like, he's pointing, like, he calls me Daddy now. So he says, Daddy, or he goes, no, Daddy. No. So dad life is great. And being in a movie is great. Some of you already know, and I found out later I wasn't supposed to say anything. So the ones that know, but everybody else, if you don't know, I'm doing this. It's a pretty big movie. Well, artsy fartsy big movie, and working with somebody huge right now. So I'm having a really great time doing that. I love it. The thing about acting, people ask me all the time, if you had to choose between acting and stand-up, what would you choose? Gun to my head, I'm gonna choose stand-up. I love stand-up comedy. I love being on stage. It's just one of the best things for me in life. It's like, when you're great at something, like to be great at something, like honestly, like no, whatever, modesty, whatever, I don't care about that in this moment. I'm just telling you how it feels. I know I'm great at stand-up comedy. And so when I'm on stage and I get to do that, there's nothing better. What I'm not great at is the business of stand-up comedy. The marketing and all that stuff of stand-up comedy is just not my thing. And I'm tried, and I don't know. So I'm still trying to figure it out. But trying to get people to come to your show and all this kind of stuff. Listen, you're never gonna be disappointed when you come to my show. Wow, there's some kind of thing on the screen, right? It's doing like a thing. I don't know what that is. But anyways, you won't be disappointed when you come. So I know I'm great at that. Okay. Now, in terms of movie business, what I appreciate about the movie business is you book shows based off your talent. Like you book a movie because you auditioned and then they like you and you go through this process. So I would say a large majority of it is your talent. And then there's a small portion of it becomes like, hey, who you are and that kind of stuff. But I think that your talent boosted that 25 to 30% too. So it's really talent-based thing. And I love that. And I love the collaborative effort of working on a movie or television show. All the people on a set, man, it's crazy. You have so many people doing all kinds of stuff. Oh man, I had this moment yesterday doing the movie with the director. Like he really directed me, man. I can't describe it, but we're doing this little moment, and then the director, he led me into it. He gave me some notes. He was like, "Oh, do it like this." He gave me this thing that like I was like, "Oh, that's so perfect," and then action, and I just freaking did it, and I was like, "Oh," I told him, I needed that. Thank you. So that was pretty cool. When you go through that. Speaking of directing too, by the way, the Matt Rife Unwrapped Netflix special is out now, directed by yours truly. So go check that out. That was a super fast turnaround when we did that. It's already getting Matt gets it's always mixed reviews with Matt. But my favorite stupid article right now, let me find it actually, is on TMZ. So this is so stupid, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is great. So it said Netflix. Oh wait, let me. Actually, I'll show you because this is just the dumbest shit ever. Wait, where you go to full screen at? Where's full? Here we go. Screen share. Netflix is one big Scrooge. Ruined Santa for my kids. So now that now it's just a whole thing that they're talking about. You know what I mean? About when you. It's like this is so dumb. It's so dumb. So they almost should have put spoiler alert. And then there's just a lot of stupid comments from people. You know what I mean? So here's the first thing. This is a rated R special. It's a rated R special. It's not a family Christmas special. There's a lot of jack-off jokes and stuff from the crowd, some really crazy, outlandish stuff from the crowd that he, talked about, that he's interacting with. So your freaking kids shouldn't be watching this. If you're watching the Matt Rife Christmas special with your kids, you're a bad parent. But I hope it gets more people to watch it because right now it's you got Stranger Things, which is out, and I tell you, the first 4 episodes, I thought I needed to go back and watch Stranger Things, but man, these first 4 episodes were fantastic. They really did a great job with this. I became a fan of the series all over again, so that's pretty good. Yeah, the headline, exactly, somebody in chat just said, the headline alone is an absurd take. It's absurd. It's just, but they need something to talk about, and Matt's a good subject to, hate on. But anyways, let's see, where am I? Let's go back to this, all right. So, what was I saying? Christmas. Oh, yes, you watched the special. And then make sure you watch that. And then, right. So right now, Stranger Things is in number 2. And then number 1, which we'll talk about today, what took over, is the Diddy documentary. So this Diddy documentary took over, first place. It was kind of messing with Matt. I mean, I thought we'd get another number 1, but it's just hard to get a number 1 when you have a one-time showing of a thing, and then Stranger Things is out, and then the biggest scandal in 50 years is a weird documentary comes out. So right now Matt's in number 3, but that's still pretty damn good in my opinion. So the Diddy documentary. Let's talk about the Diddy documentary. I haven't seen it yet, full disclosure, and because I wanted to talk about it before I saw it. Now, here's my first thing that I think is crazy to me about the Diddy documentary, okay? And this is just a little inside baseball for you guys, so you know. You know what I mean? Okay, so all right. I was just texting, somebody was texting me about something I said, because this is important. So listen, full disclosure. So we do this, Matt Rife does this crowd work special, okay? So just like Lucid, we did another one like that, but it was Christmas themed. So a couple of people in the audience that he interacted with, they referenced someone that wasn't there, okay? They referenced someone that wasn't there. And so then we were told by Netflix Legal that we had to go to these people and, we had to make sure that they signed off on the things that their family members said. Like it was a mom and it was like the daughter of someone. Okay, so we were like, all right, we'll do that. I am 1,000% sure that Diddy didn't sign off on this Netflix documentary. So I don't understand it. It makes absolutely zero sense, okay? So that's the first thing. So again, I didn't want to watch it before I wanted to, I literally did this on purpose. I wanted to talk about this, documentaries and everything, before I watched it. So that's the first thing. We know for a fact that Diddy did not sign off on this, okay? And I'm reading stuff about this, that there's some footage, because I believe that Diddy wanted to make a documentary himself about the process that he was going through in this trial. And that's how they got that footage of him. Because I've seen clips of that and I was like, where'd they get that from? So already I know one thing for sure. 1, Diddy didn't sign off on it. 2, somebody's a rat or somebody's doing something nefarious in the background to get this footage to 50 Cent, who is petty as hell towards Diddy, whether it's justified or not. He's on, he loved this downfall, and it's okay, great. So they got this footage, and where'd they get that from? Okay, so 2, I'm sure that wasn't obtained that was some back channel stuff going on there. Are we seeing all of it? Because my thing is this: if Diddy is what do you call it? Filming himself, because he obviously was in charge of filming himself. I'm pretty sure that we're not seeing the full context of that video. So that's the first thing there. And you take the worst of it because it's a narrative that you're trying to push. So my thing is like, that's why there was part of me that didn't even want to watch it, because I was like, oh, I don't want to see 50 Cent's take on this, because it doesn't mean that is true. That's the thing about documentaries right now. And I've talked about this before. Look, man, just because somebody puts something in a documentary doesn't mean it's true. There's no law that says if you label something documentary, and there should be. Actually, the law should state there should be some sort of broadcasting law. If you use the words documentary, you have to state all your sources. You have to, and it must be completely accurate, or you could get there's a fine, or you can get sued, and whatever. But apparently, in most documentaries, you don't need that. And Netflix is notorious with this. The biggest example of this is Making a Murderer. I remember watching Making a Murderer, and I was furious, man. Furious. I was like, how is this kid in jail? How is this guy in jail? A 10-part documentary with a clear narrative that these guys are innocent. Okay? Now, however many years later now, you come to find out that a few of the police officers on that documentary have sued Netflix for, disparaging their character and all that. You know what I mean? They've sued because they made it seem like they were hiding evidence. And I tell you who was hiding the evidence. Netflix was hiding evidence. Because if you look it up now, just Google what information was left out of Making a Murderer, and you'll see, oh, he did it. or at least there was more doubt than they put out. But you slap the words documentary on something, and all of a sudden now we have to be like, well, they made a documentary. I mean, the documentary must be real. Look, man, a documentary is just basically a fancy way of stating your opinion. Here's my opinion on someone, and I'm going to phrase it in a documentary, and I'm going to control the narrative. I'm going to make it seem whatever I want it, and then, I'm going to guide how I want people to feel about this. That's definitely what this is. That's what happened with Making a Murderer, and it turns out they're still in jail. The guy's still in jail because they had enough evidence to convict him. All right. Even the Innocence Project got involved, and they're really great about that. And he's still in jail. So what I'm saying is, like, just because someone says documentary don't mean it's real. So now you cut to this. Again, 50 Cent is notoriously petty. He hates Diddy, and maybe for good reason. I've said this in the past episodes about the whole Diddy thing. Do I think Diddy was guilty of the things that they said? I don't know. It feels muddled to me. It feels like a rich guy with weird sexual proclivities, and his girl did some like wild shit, and he did rich guy stuff. Hey, you want you live in whatchamacallit? Yeah, we had a good time with you. Get on my plane. Let's go do it over here. And now it becomes sex trafficking, I mean, this could happen to anybody. Look, man, you buy a Southwest flight for a chick and you fly her to wherever you live, and then you buy her a Gucci bag, and she says, well, I didn't really want, all of a sudden it's sex trafficking. So, you got to be careful. It's like a muddled thing. So do I think he was guilty of all that stuff they said in the way they said it? Should he have gone to jail for 50 years or whatever the thing is, the maximum? I don't think so. But I will say this. He got put in jail because of that tape. And if you're a human being, you're like, damn. So the statute of limitations on this video, you couldn't charge him for anything, which I think is silly. I think the law should change. I think that, hey, this is where we are now in the world. We got video surveillance. We got ways now to prove. We got DNA evidence. You know what I'm saying? What if there was statute of limitations on DNA evidence? They go, well, wait a minute. Now we know that, oh, you know what? This guy didn't rape whoever or whatever. We've checked the thing, and it's not him. Is there should there be statute of limitations? Like, hey, we put you in jail. Sorry, we can't do anything about it. No, I think justice should be served when you find the evidence, no matter how long it takes, But so what I'm saying is, like, They have that video of him beating her ass in the hallway, and it's actually longer than they showed on TMZ. It's a whole back and forth, and then he bribed someone for the tape or whatever happened in that situation. I think he was going to jail for that. So that's like a stupid tax, you know? So was he guilty of all the stuff in the trial? Who knows? I don't think it was. It can't be racketeering with one person. So I think all that was like overblown, right? But he was guilty of something, and so it was enough to be like, well, you're sitting on that jury. Because I looked at some news things, like, so the jurors are speaking out now. You know, one of the jurors was speaking out, and the juror said, let's see, blah blah blah. Where was that? Oh man, here it is. I think that you see in the. Oh no. Oh, that was a different thing I had open. Oh damn it. But anyways, there's another thing. I'll have to find it later. But anyways, you can look it up, man. Some of the jurors are like, you know, you could tell that's the sentiment of it. It was like, I don't know if he was guilty but justice was served. You know, it's that kind of vibe, you know. And I get that, and that should be how it goes, you know. So, but I don't think just because 50 Cent had a feeling about this guy or whatever his perspective was of this guy doesn't mean that everything in this documentary is correct. You know, it's like talking about kicking a guy when he's down, you know. I just don't understand how they can do that. I would really like to see where they got that footage from. What's the whole complete footage? Does Diddy have a case? You know, it's just like that. You know what? It's funny. Let's look that up. Because Chris Brown, he sued. I wonder whatever happened with that. About the documentary they made about him. Yeah, so he has a $500 million defamation lawsuit. But I don't know what the state of it is. You know what I mean? I don't know if. Well, we should ask the AI, I guess, even though the AI will tell you whatever the hell they want. You know, I wonder if they're. Let's see. What is the status of the Chris Brown? Oh my God, Brown defamation suit. Let's see what they say. You know, so you don't know what goes on with these lawsuits because apparently you could just say anything you want. Warner Brothers, in April 2025, Warner Brothers and the documentary producers responded to the lawsuit by denying the allegations of wrongdoing and citing free speech as a central part of their defense. So it's like there's that free speech again, where well, I don't know. It doesn't say what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. So I think it's still going on right now. So who knows? And then a lot of these, there's like a lot of lawsuits against Netflix for a lot of the documentaries and stuff that they've made. You know, they're in litigations with a lot of people over the projects that they've made, and a lot of the stuff has been settled. And of course there's an NDA, but the damage is done. It's out there. The damage is done. So this is great actually. Talking about the Chris Brown thing, it goes. The discredited accuser. The key strength in the argument that a central accuser in the documentary, Jane Doe, had her related sexual assault lawsuit dismissed and was reportedly discredited due to text messages that suggested continued contact with Brown after the alleged incident. Okay. The weakness of the case is, as a public figure, Brown must prove actual malice. That's interesting, huh? So basically what that's saying in today's society with social media and how you could just say whatever you want about anyone, the courts are kind of like more lenient on this. Like, okay, yeah, make a documentary about somebody, say whatever you want. But anyways, in terms of like you're trying to get the truth, like it's one thing if it's like a third party. If there's some third party investigator who's like, I want to find out what happened with Diddy and these people. And this third-party investigator talks to the FBI, talks to the lawyers, talks to the hookers, and they get a sort of vibe from them, and then actually talks to Diddy. Let him tell his side. Hey, what happened? What do you want to say about this? Then talk to Cassie, and then talk to people that hate him, like 50 Cent. And then you get 50 Cent, and then some sort of like mediator puts all this together and is like, well, this is the things that I think. Tell me what you think as a viewer. That's a completely different thing. But this feels super weird. So I'm going to watch it, but I definitely feel like I'm going to watch a one-sided hit piece, you know? And maybe it's deserving of that too. Look, you do something wrong, you treat people a certain way, there's going to be a thing. But this is what often happens in these things, though. There's somebody that, like, there's one person who's not telling the truth. There's somebody that's, like, has a real beef with the person. Aubrey O'Day feels like that person in this situation. She does not like Diddy. You know, she doesn't like him at all, man. She's making all these accusations that have been going on for years, all these accusations. I don't know what's happened with them. And now she gets to sit in front of a documentary person who doesn't care if it's true or not. They're just saying, tell me your story. I mean, that's the thing about documentaries too. You have to remember, like, you're sitting down there and you're making the documentary, and you might say to the person, like, you could say, hey, tell me your side of this, or not. There's no expectation of like, hey, tell me the truth. Just tell me your side. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what you think. And then you could parse that up into whatever you want, and you could push your narrative. Okay. Believe it or not, right? I just think that we got to take all these kinds of things with a grain of salt. So, you know, we'll see. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. I remember when she was on that show. I remember the great episode of Making a Band was when he fired her on TV. I remember that episode because he was like, y'all always make me look like I'm the bad guy on TV, so let's talk about it. And then he revealed some nonsense that they were doing. He was revealing nonsense about the members of Danny Decane. Oh, you did this, and this. But see, people don't know that. You fired. Oh, and you did this, you know, and it was like, oh, that was interesting. You know what I mean? But again, even in a show like that, a reality show is pushing a narrative too. They're pushing a thing, and then now he took his opportunity to be like, nah, I'm not the bad guy. But maybe he was. We don't know. You know what I mean? So somebody in the chat is saying, but the person saying it can be still sued, right? Yeah, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. So here's Netflix. They get in bed with 50 Cent. 50 Cent says, look, I got some, look. They put it together. They showed him, hey, look at this. Netflix Legal looks into whatever, how'd you get this? They see that they're covered. Even if it's nefarious ways that it was done, are they covered? And they might be like, hey, we also got, billions of dollars, so sue us. We'll keep you in litigations forever. I mean, that could be the thought process behind it too. So yeah, a person can be sued, but will there be repercussions? Will there be punishment for that? And probably not when the damage is done. Look, you're Netflix. You put out this 50 Cent documentary. It's the #1 rated show that they have right now. It's the most streamed thing right now. Everybody's talking about it. There's eyes on Netflix. It's probably worth the lawsuit. So, you know what I mean? It's probably worth it. So they go, all right, we put it out there. It's out. Oh, hey, the people are like, hey, we're being sued. Then there's some like undisclosed figure that they pay off. Like, okay, well, here's whatever amount of money. Sorry, we did that. But the damage is done. No one's going to jail. You know what I mean? What's the real, like when you're talking about a corporation, what's the real loss for them? It's not like they go, like, let's say they could sue Netflix and 50 Cent, and then 50 Cent had to go to jail if it turned out that he did something wrong in the making of this thing. I bet you this wouldn't have even come out. It'd be different. But there literally is zero repercussions other than some sort of financial fine, basically what it is. So that's why people are just saying whatever they want to say. Just make whatever documentary you want to make. Just make it. You can make a documentary, talk to a couple people. Because look, sadly to say, people are dumb. There's people that believe those AI videos of people stealing packages from porches, and then there's bombs in the packages of like, glitter and ink. That stuff's not real. That's all fake AI videos, okay? But people believe them. You literally can say whatever you want to say about someone, and if it gets some traction on the internet, there's people that believe it. So what's the repercussions? Nothing. There's no punishment for it. So, and people are dumb. People want to believe this. And then it's all about content. It's all about, it's content creation, and you pushing the algorithm and monetizing hate. The monetizing hate is the biggest revenue stream on the internet. There was, I would say, probably the most watched videos, or probably the videos and channels that make the most monies, are the ones that just push hate, push gossip, and so we live in that kind of society right now. So it is what it is. So I am going to watch the documentary, but I just wanted to have a little say about everything I see about it happening right now. Is like, I don't know if it just feels like, all right, are we learning anything? You know what I mean? Like if I was P. Diddy, I would put out all that, the footage that he collected himself, however they got that, put it all out. Put it out so you can see, like, nah, he took that out of context. This is what we were leading up to. And then let us make our own choice. I'm not defending Diddy, by the way. I'm just saying this is the nature of documentaries right now. So we'll see. Tune in next week, guys. I'm going to watch it, and I'll give a thorough review of what I thought of everything. Somebody asked about look, listen, I don't know Akash. I don't know him. And then I believe that Andrew and them are going to talk about it on their podcast. Because he had that. It was actually a really great teaser for it. He's like, Akash, I love you, but we got to talk about it, brother. And then he looked all sad. So I don't know what happened with that. It could have been all fake for all we know. That'd be disappointing. That would be like, wow, that shows you. But anyways. So we'll see. I don't know what's going on with that. I talked about it on the Golden Hour. I think it's sad. I'm not, even though like they've trashed my friend in a way with no proof, no evidence. They just really went bad on him. I'm not going to do that to him because I think that's terrible. If you're in love with someone and you have an idea, and then that person goes on a podcast and completely shatters your idea of her and your marriage and everything about, that's terrible. That's not good. I don't feel good that happened to him at all. And I hope he works that out with his wife. I hope that I hope that works out, because I think that was terrible. But anyways, all right, enough of that. Let's go into some other stuff. So I'm watching this show, Pluribus, on Apple TV. It's made by Vince Gilligan, I believe the guy's name is, the guy that made Breaking Bad. It stars Rhea Seehorn. I don't know where she's from. What else has she done? Let me look at her IMDb and see what else she's done. Let's see. She's been in, I don't know. She's been in a lot of stuff. She's just one of these people that you see her and go, oh yeah, I know that lady. She's one of these, like, she's been in everything, but you don't know her name, right? Well, she's getting her chance to shine now on this show. So, spoiler alert, let's just say that right now. Let's see. Pluribus. Wait, why is it showing me? I want to see, like, the whole, let's see. All right, here we go. No, it's showing me, like, I don't know why it's showing the episode. I don't want to see the episode list. I want to just see what the whole show is about. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go. This is what Pluribus is about, everybody. In a world overtaken by a mysterious wave of forced happiness, Carol Sturka, one of the few immune, must uncover what's really going on. Okay, so in the series, so, like, there's some mysterious thing. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but so everybody's connected now. Like everybody's one mind, a hive mind, and there's few people that are immune to it. But the hive mind now, which is everyone in the whole wide world except for 12 people, they all are happy. They never tell lies. They don't kill animals. It's a peaceful harmony. Everyone's sharing every thought. Okay. So now this woman is like immune to it. And she's like, what the hell is going on? And she's trying to, reverse it. She wants to reverse it. So, I got mixed feelings about it, but I think there's a deeper thing with Pluribus that we're probably missing, and we won't feel it until the final episode or something. It's just like in Breaking Bad. It's like, the main guy, he was a criminal. He wasn't a good guy. And so we're following him in this process, and it isn't until the end that we realize he goes, I loved doing this. I loved being that guy. And it's like, oh, okay. So this is what I feel about Pluribus. I think it's the same kind of thing. So you got this woman who is like trying to get everybody's individuality back. And then maybe this show is about the selfishness of human beings, how we think the world revolves around us, and all we care about is our own thoughts and feelings, and nothing else matters. And there are consequences to that. And in this show, you see that. Because in the show, when she makes one of the pod people upset, everybody gets upset, okay? And so then something happens to them. They have like a little stroke. But if you think about it, there's billions of people in the world actually doing stuff. Some people are doing some dangerous stuff. And if they had a stroke for 2 minutes in that time, there could be some outrageous consequences. And there were detrimental consequences. She killed millions of people every time she did that, So maybe so there's part of me that goes, is she the bad guy? Is it this because, and I think that's what the show's about, trying to make you understand who's at fault here? Is human selfishness, is the nature, because you're seeing it in full effect with these 12 people that survived, that are immune to this thing. So I just wonder how that's going to play out. Is she going to, is it good for her to bring everybody back? And now there's war and famine and hunger and poor, or is this a better way to live? And she's trying to ruin that. So this show's kind of muddled for me because, I think when you watch a show, you want a hero. You want someone that you can follow and be like, oh, I'm just like that person. That's who I am. And if you don't like what the person's doing, if you're looking at it and you're like, I don't know if this person is a good person, or should we be following her? Is she the one? And then so I'm gonna stick with it because I want to see how it ends. But I could see it being confusing to people. There's a lot of math in this show because I start to think, let's say she does cure it all. Is everyone going to remember everything that they know? Imagine that you have the thoughts and memories of billions of people in your head, but you also have the knowledge. So now everyone's a doctor, everyone's a lawyer, everyone's a scientist, everyone's an artist, everyone's you know what I mean? Does everyone have the knowledge now? And maybe that's a good thing. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered in this show, and I don't know if they're going to answer those questions, and I don't know if I like it. I just don't know if I like it. But I think that's part of it, though, when you just step back and you look at the existential, philosophical qualities of this show. Maybe that's the point of it, or maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. Because this is what happens when I look at stuff like this. I always think of the math is in my head. And if there's too much math, I go, I don't know if this is, then I don't know if they're going to be able to, to solve this in a way that I'm going to go, ooh, I love this. But I do say watch it. If you have Apple TV, watch it. It's great. There's a lot of great shows on Apple TV, and this is one of the ones that's pretty good. Pluribus on Apple TV. Check it out, y'all. Pluribus. Check out Pluribus. That's what the show is. So, I don't know. We'll see. All right. The other show I wanted to review is a show called Beast in Me. The Beast in Me, and it stars Claire Danes and Matthew Rhys. Man, Claire Danes is killing it in this show, y'all. First, let me tell you about the show. Wait. Let me tell you about the show. Claire Danes plays an author. She plays an author, and she's grieving the loss of her son, and she finds new purpose unraveling a mystery behind a neighbor, Niles Jarvis' vanished wife, and suspicious dealings. So she's this author. She's like the world-renowned author, but her son dies in an accident. And the accident was like she was hit by a drunk driver, but the guy got off on a technicality. So there, you have that. And then this guy moves in next door, this super rich guy who his wife disappears mysteriously, and he was the main suspect. So now he moves out into the suburbs, and and then they spark up a sort of friendship. And he really is a self-centered asshole. He's just a rich, pompous ass. And the guy, Matthew Rhys, he's doing you hate him. And it's great, what he's doing. And so they have this great interaction with each other because, he wants to build a jogging path in their thing, and she's like, no, and then he goes over there to convince her, and then they just spark a sort of like weird friendship. And then you learn as this series goes on what kind of person she is, what kind of, I don't want to spoil it for you, what kind of person he is and everything that goes on in it. But I'll just say, Claire Danes, man, Claire Danes is just so good, man. She's so good. And I got to tell, this guy's doing a great job too. This guy is fantastic also. But this is a great series. Again, I love the acting. I like the story's a little, sometimes the story's a little, or sometimes they reveal stuff that you kind of go, oh, I wish it was more of a surprise. But it's a limited series. It's a one-time run. I don't think there's going to be a sequel, a season 2, which is probably better. You get a beginning and an end. It's like a movie in 8 episodes. This would have been a great movie. This would have been This would have been a limited movie because they weren't going to be able to show everything in an hour and a half or however long a movie is these days. So I think it's great that they made a limited series so they could cover every character, every aspect, every story, so you can really feel like you saw something. So I do like the idea of a limited series. This one's great, The Beast in Me. Claire Danes is fabulous. If you remember her from My So-Called Life, she's just always great. And she's in her bag in this show. And I really love it. And this other guy, I don't know what else he's been in. Matthew Rhys. I hope I'm saying his name right. He's just great. Like, he's playing the way he's playing this villain is great. He's like a villainous character, just a pompous ass. And he's doing such a good job of that. And then their relationship is great. And so I recommend this series. It's an easy watch. It's only 8 episodes. So check it out. Yeah. You got to check that bad boy out. Yeah, I mean, that's what acting's all about. Like, show your range, show your skills. Something we didn't do, I usually do early in the show. I guess I'll do it late in the show now, right? That's probably a good idea. Let's see, content. Yeah, let's go over some comments. I haven't done this in a while. Let's see, a few more. Let's see. So what was it? What was one? He said Michelle Pfeiffer was the fine woman in Scarface. I don't know why I talked about that. Everybody keeps talking about Arc Raiders, the video game. Arc Raiders, man. It's like, ugh. I have it. I got to get into it. Horn Honey said Coco was literally a perfect, beautiful film. It really was. Coco is just a really great movie. I highly recommend that movie. He said when you build a pod studio and take it to the next level. Well, I am doing it. I had some setbacks. That's the reason why I haven't finished yet. I got to call that guy and be like, hey, come on, man. Come on over. Let's get it done. Let's see. Somebody said, Griff, how do you feel about people saying Battlefield 6 lobbies are bot lobbies most of the time? I don't think they are. I don't know. I mean, it's, how do you get so many people to play a game? I mean, you rely on real people to be on the game 24 hours a day. So maybe if they have a few bots in there, I think I'm fine with that. But, what are you supposed to do in a PvP game, So somebody said Elon loaning you $1 billion for a year is the same as him just gifting you $40 million because he will lose $40 million interest that year. Yeah, but then he also won't have to pay the taxes. So you have to think about the taxes exchange too. So if he lends me $1 billion, if he gave me an interest-free $1 billion loan, he gave me that loan, he wouldn't have to pay the taxes on that on the capital gains earning, and he has less money now. So he saves on that end too. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to hurt him. Who cares? He's not losing anything. He'll get that back. So let me hold $1 billion to Elon for a year. All right, that's good enough. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the show. Remember, come back next week. There will be a full, solid review of the Diddy documentary. Make sure you watch Matt Rife's special. I directed that bad boy. Somebody asked, when you produce, do you put in money? No, produce is like you're just a part of the production, a part of making choices and decisions for production. You're one of the leaders of this team. You know what I mean? When it comes to like, well, what are we gonna do for this? How does it sound? What's where are we gonna do it? Those are the kind of things you have a collaborative effort when you have like a few producers and stuff like that. So it's just a credit, and also like a pay scale too. It's like I get a production money, and then I get a director fee. That's what that is. So, but thanks for asking. But anyways, guys, make sure you come back next week. Hit the sub button so you know when I'm going live. Twitch, I'm actually going to be on in a little while here because the new Call of Duty has now, I believe that's today. I hope so. That the new movement system and all that, and a new map, everything starts today. So let's check. I'm gonna check that out. And Patreon, thank you for being here on Patreon. And guys, also hit me up on TikToksic. I'm live on TikToksic too. I might do that right now. Actually, I should start doing my podcast live on TikToksic. Just a version of it, just like the first 5 minutes, I'd be like, oh, hey, TikToksic, thanks. I might try that. But anyways, you can hit me up there too at Erik Griffin Gaming, or you can just find me Erik Griffin. I've been streaming live on that too, the gaming. So that's been going well. But anyways, guys, audio people, as always, thanks for being here, and I'll see you all next week. My beautiful YouTubers, Erik Griffin Gaming people, thanks for being here as always, man. And we'll see how we do. But again, come back next week for the big Diddy review. Thank you. I'll see you next.